it's funny though, dude. It's like I spent so long when I was a kid. You know, it was all about D&D. It was about role playing games. You guys familiar with like Kevin Simbita, like the Palladium system that he developed? It was a kind of like a general purpose role playing rules, but he just built all sorts of worlds that kind of use the same system. We just lived for that shit, and kind of growing up and relating through being nerdy, Warhammer was kind of an escalation of that in Necromunda later on. Right around the time I got hired at Blizzard, we were just cracked out on Necromunda. And so it's weird at this point in my life. I've been out of Blizzard for about 3 years now. And the funniest thing, I don't know if this was like a choice as such, but I can't tell you the last time I finished a computer game. I can't tell you the last time I finished an Xbox game. I sit with my 10-year-old. He just finished Red Dead Redemption 2, and I sat with him probably for 70% of that game, just watching him play because it's so cinematic and the story was so engaging. But I don't have that thing as much these days of like wanting to kind of really go deep on a single player. But I spend inordinate amount of time on my iPad balancing army lists for 40k. I just said that out loud. I'm psychotic, right?
Oh, don't worry, we all do that. This
oh my god! I'm on Army List Builder. It's like I duel between Quartermaster and Battle Scribe. Off and on. Who's updated their points? Most recently. So it's funny. It's like I've kind of, from 1,000 feet up, you would say, oh, he's regressed back into the 80s. I don't know. I don't look at it that way, but it's kind of cool to go a little fucking analog, and I don't know exactly what that's all about. I mean, certainly, like I said, I like gaming with my pals and being in a space. So here's an interesting one. Let me just jump into a weird one. So I found myself with a lot of time on my hands, post career or whatever. So my buddy Mike, who works at Blizzard, Mike Gilmartin, we call him Gilly. Mike and I have been playing 40k. For about 8 years now. We played for the most part in my living room. Once a week. This is it's game night, baby. And then we moved to his. I had a kid a couple years ago, and we couldn't roll dice quite as loud in my living room, so we moved to his garage. And a couple of the boys from his department started, coming and gaming, and we kind of developed a little group. And eventually, we got to the point where, like, dude, we're too big, and there's too many of us to be stuck in your garage. What if we did something crazy? So we wound up starting up a club in Irvine, with just kind of close friends and former coworkers. And it turns out all sorts of people play 40k, or whatever else. We're playing Star Wars Legion, we're playing X-Wing, we're playing all sorts of Sigmar, whatever. So it's kind of cool at this phase of my life, kind of throwing in with Mike and creating this this gaming club. We call it War Chief Gaming. Haha. And just being able to spend time there. We rented out this kind of fair sized warehouse, and there's like 20 tables in there, full terrain, and on any given night, a lot of nights during the week, you'll just roll, and there's people in there just sitting around modeling or painting or talking shop. Or 2 or 3 games going, on a busy night, 2 or 3, even 4 games going. Kill Team's been big lately. And it's just so bitching to be able to kind of get out of the house and go somewhere where your pals are, and, everybody's, rolling hot dice. And I don't know, it's just been, it gives me a little bit of that feeling I had like at Blizzard with the crew, and, kind of in that way we were building games, but it's just really been nice to have a place to go and, just be able to hang and game and nerd out, and have that feeling of community again has been really big for me.
I saw a bunch of War Chief shirts at Bay Area Open. You had some of your club repping, dog.
Baby.
So it was in the battle. It's in BCP now. Like, it's a whole thing. I'm going down for the first time.
We got Zach Thacker out there.
Zach holding it down,
slugging it out pretty hard, and Kenny. Yeah. We got some pretty badass players in there.
Old Big Red. No, he actually called up me and my boys on invite to come down to your guys' invite GT. Yeah. So I'll be down there on the 15th. That's why I'm painting up this Lord Discordant. I was just talking about it on my web.
What are the odds? What are the odds we randomly get paired, Kenny?
Oh,
that'll be a quick game.
Who's in charge of pairing? I will talk.
I don't know. I gotta pay. I gotta slip someone like $5 to make sure I'm not paired with you on the first round.
I always tell this one. So me and Chris only got to play that one time in the old Gilmartin Beats Lab, and I always tell everyone when anyone who will listen, I was like, he's the saltiest little bitch ass gamer. And then they laugh, and I'm like, that's how you know he's real though. We're all salty ass gamers. Like none of us are happy when we're not winning.
Yeah. Although, can I tell people that I wound up
killing
charging and killing Abaddon with my termite drill?
It happened. He did it.
That was one of my favorite moments, Kenny.
I won't forget it.
And that was the only bit of vengeance I had for getting curb stomped so hard by your cultist wave.
He did. He's like, I'm coming in. I don't give a fuck. And what is it, like the melta that keeps doing mortal wounds if you keep rolling?
It's the drill. You know, you keep rolling for mortals.
And he kept rolling these goddamn mortals, and I'm like, Abaddon's running out of wounds, dog.
Glorious.
Pimp goes down.
You know,
those termites, man. I'm telling you.